Hi, hello, it's Nikki and welcome to my messy bookshelves. So today I am back with another tag, and this tag is the classical music tag. This tag was created by Will Chambers and I was tagged by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. So this tag was very interesting, very different from other tags that I have done. These prompts are based on classical music, and I will try not to butcher them, the names of them, but starting with prompt number 1, Peer Gynt, or Gynt, I don't know. Suite number 1, Opus 46, Morning Mood. What type of book, be it fiction, nonfiction, prose, or poetry, could you or do you read first thing in the morning? Alternatively, if you're not a morning reader, what book has a great morning scene? So typically in the mornings, I am not reading because I typically work very early in the morning. So on days that I have off and I am able to read in the morning, I will usually read nonfiction. So whatever nonfiction I'm working on at that point will be in the morning. Also, like my Bible. So I will read things that are a little harder to get through to me. So that is that for the morning. For a great morning scene, I know it says alternatively, but I will answer this question too. A book that has a great morning scene, for me, maybe this is not a great morning scene, but it is a morning scene that sticks out in my memory because it's just so bizarre to me. So in the book And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, after I think the third or fourth murder, after the guests at the house realize that both servants have been murdered and there is no one going to make breakfast, we see the two women in the party that are left, Vera and I think Emily. They go to make coffee and they go to make breakfast, and these people are all sitting around the table and, casually making breakfast in the kitchen as if people aren't getting murdered left and right. So I always found that scene to be, it's like seared in my memory. They're making eggs and coffee and toast and opening tins of meat while there are like 3 or 4 dead bodies in the house. So that is always crazy to me. Prompt number 2, I know that I cannot pronounce this, but this is Ride of the Valkyries, a book you enjoyed where the protagonist dies or an important death or funeral takes place. The first book that comes to mind for me is actually Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. This book, I think anyone who has ever read this book can agree that the death that takes place very early on in the book is the catalyst for everything else that takes place in the book. Our main protagonist is struggling with feelings of guilt. He is struggling with the feeling of impending doom that is coming upon him as the police are closing in on him for the death that he caused in the beginning of the book. So yeah, I think that would be my choice. Prompt number 3, Canon and Giege in D major, part 37, number 1, Canon. Which book did you enjoy that has a wedding you wish you could attend? So the first book that I thought of with this is actually a lot of our childhood favorite, and it is Harry Potter. And the wedding that comes to mind is the oldest Weasley brother when he marries Fleur. And that scene is always such a happy scene to me, until it's not. But we have the Weasley family, and it is just such a happy family gathered together to celebrate a joyous occasion. And there's magic, and it was just a wonderful scene to me when I was younger. Prompt number 4, The Planets, Opus 32, number 4, Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity, a book or series which poignantly moves through phases. It can be a Bildungsroman or a work of historical fiction, etc. So I actually had 2 books come to mind for this one. And the first one was actually The Divine Comedy, which is 3 books, and that is, I think, a great example of phases because we are watching Dante as he travels through literally the circles of hell, and then he moves up through there and he leaves all of that behind and he moves on to purgatory, where he leaves some more baggage and is getting cleansed, and then he moves into paradise. So I think that that is a great illustration of phases. Another book that came to mind, and this is an example of a Bildungsroman, I can never say that word, The Wheel of Time. So our main character, or one of the main characters, is Rand, and we see him go from a little village boy who is giggling with his buddies and playing practical jokes and going through traumatic experiences and coming of age, essentially. So he is coming to terms with the power that he learns that he has, and he is coming to terms with the ultimate fate that he knows that he's going to suffer as the books progress. And I have not completely finished this series. I think I left off on book number 7, but even from book number 1 to book number 7, you can really see how Rand has changed and is coming to terms with this thing that is inside of him, and how he deals with that in his everyday life, and how he interacts with everyone around him, and how the legends and things play into all of that. So that would be my answer for prompt number 4. And prompt number 5 is just to tag some people, but I think a lot of people have done this tag, so I will include some in the description box of people. I have to go and look and see who hasn't done this tag, because I think everyone has. But I thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.